Hello, fabulous Cancer. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of December 2015, General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month really does represent important turning points for you, turning points that will change and speak to changes in your lived experience, your lifestyle, and those little things you do every day to affirm a sense of self-care and a sense of self-worth. So there's one part of this that really comes down to the day-to-day experience that you are having. And then there's a part of this month that really is going to be much more personal and much more close to the heart. And that is what makes this a particularly special month for you. As we're starting the month, we have somewhat of a serious energy, actually. It's a moment of truth energy. All of us are going to be feeling it. If there ever was a time to be super patient and super kind with people, it would be as the month is beginning, because it looks like there's, for all of us, as I said, moment of truth energy, looking at things as they are and really admitting to yourself how you got here and what now must change, who you are and who you are not in at least one key area of life. Now, this moment of truth is very necessary for those bigger breakthroughs that are coming up as we move towards the middle of the month. For you, this moment of truth is going to be arising in the realm of your health, but also in the realm of the workplace. So this has to do with not necessarily about a career or a dream or really reaching high. It will eventually, but this is more about what are you doing right now today to move yourself in a direction you desire to go? How are you wasting your days? And then there is the element that has to do with health as well. And I do think that some Cancerians out there are going to have a reality check around matters of health, where it is that you haven't wanted to look at a thing and you haven't wanted to address a certain issue. This is going to be when the universe is going to ask you to bring structure into your life as you create little ways to show yourself that you value yourself and that you have more to do in this lifetime, and you certainly do. So if any health issues should come up, not saying that's likely, but for those few Cancerians out there that might find some health issues pop up, it is just a part of the process to get you taking better care of yourself and nothing more. I'm not seeing anything super serious. In fact, I actually think as we progress further into the month, the news will get better and better. So as you start the month, there's a little bit of taking stock of yourself, your life, your lived experience. You want to stay positive, of course, but also be honest with you. Not be pessimistic, but to have that balanced perspective, so at least you know where you are, and that in turn will lend itself to an understanding, or at least the beginning, that will take you where it is that is a more desirable place. So we have the middle of the month, a new moon taking place in the same part of the sky. This is a positive new moon. This is a breakthrough, lights coming on, limitations being shattered, moving towards the future kind of new moon. This is a very fortunate occurrence to take place. Dramatic turnarounds are possible right around this time. So the sun will meet Saturn at the beginning of the month. So that is the astrology of it. Saturn is time. Saturn can also represent sort of endings, right? And it represents truth, honoring the physical realm, if you will, right? And then the sun brings that attention, right? Brings that light. And then we have this new moon happening, which is just really about positive energy and new opportunities. So as I look at this, it is possible that there might be some changes in the workplace. There might be an evaluation that takes place in the workplace. And as I said, moment of truth, right? So if you know that you have been, on course and doing the right thing for whatever organization you find yourself in, doing the right thing for your clients if you're self-employed, doing the right thing in terms of what you are contributing, what you are giving, then it will be a time at the beginning of the month where that commitment will be solidified or further solidified. Where it is that you have not been, this will be that moment of awareness. For a very small percentage of you, I will be honest, for a very small percentage of you, because of that element of time, because of that element of possible endings, it might bring an ending to a certain work situation. However, really, I mean, very quickly, this is going to work very, very much to your advantage, because as we move into the middle of the month, this new moon comes along and all kinds of opportunities just open up. And these opportunities are going to be more in alignment with the direction that you actually want to go, a direction that actually does resonate as creating more joy, more success, and moving you in a direction that feels that much more ideal, where you're accomplishing something that matters to you. So you're moving beyond just a day job and towards utilizing the day to achieve something more meaningful for yourself. So again, if you are in a job and you really don't care about it and you're just doing it because you have something that you got to get done so that you can make the money or whatever the case may be, which is still important, if any changes should arise, or if you are having that moment, where it's being called to your attention that, hey, you could bring so much more of yourself, that is going to help you to evaluate where you are and why, and ultimately will lead to some really wonderful breakthroughs very, very quickly, very, very soon for that matter. So that's the direction that you want to go, at least where it comes to your work. This also, as I said, can play out with your health. If early in the month there's some concerns that pop up, very quickly, we get to the middle of the month and you find your answers, you get your clarity. For some people, I will also say, it'll be a very slight change. It's like a slight change that makes all the difference. And I will also say this, as I look at this new moon, it may just be like, if you're on medication, it might be just, tweaking the medications. It might be that you could use something that will help you as well. Whether it is natural, whether it is more traditional, and by traditional, I don't mean alternative, but it could be alternative. But I mean, whether you're actually utilizing modern Western medicine or you're utilizing alternative therapies, it's the slightest things, it's the slightest tweaks right now that can make the bigger difference. So if you find yourself feeling really different, and I think some Cancerians out there might find themselves, it's the Cancerians out there and the Sages out there this month that might find themselves carrying a lot of weight that you really don't need to be carrying. So if you find yourself being in that position, being one of those people, this is going to be that lightness that just opens up. This is going to be that shift that just changes everything for you. So then we move towards the middle of the month, or rather the late part of the month, the very end of the month. If you were born in the last 10 days of the month, any month, right? Depending on when you're watching this, or if you're watching this for your moon sign, your sun sign, or your rising sign. Those born in the last 10 days of any given month are going to feel this full moon most, and especially you. I'll be talking about this a lot more in the love-focused horoscope, but this really has an overall emphasis on you and what really matters to you on a heart level. And it's like heart coming right to the surface level. There's also a certain miraculous quality to what is taking place. I don't say that lightly. There's a lot of faith, a lot of hope, a lot of belief that is a part of this particular full moon. And you certainly can tap into this to help yourself move in a direction that feels that much more clear. And ultimately, that clarity is going to be grounded in faith. And it's going to be grounded in knowing not only who you are, but admitting the truth about what has been, where you are now, and what promises actually are there to be fulfilled ahead of you. If there's anyone more likely to be nostalgic towards the end of the year as you're starting the next, it will be you. But also, if there is anyone who is likely to really have tremendous reasons to be absolutely inspired about what's coming up ahead, not only next month, but also as you enter into a new year, that also certainly is you as well.